I was 14 years old when I walked into Cus D'Amato's gym for the first time. 14, but I felt like I'd already lived 3 lifetimes. None of them good. Let me tell you something about being a kid in Brownsville, Brooklyn in 1980. It wasn't a neighborhood, it was a war zone. Every day was about survival. Every corner had someone waiting to take something from you. Your money, your dignity, sometimes your life. I learned early that the world didn't care about Mike Tyson. Nobody was coming to save me. By the time I was 11, I'd been arrested dozens of times. Petty theft mostly, sometimes worse. I wasn't a bad kid, I was a scared kid. And scared kids do terrible things to feel powerful, to feel like they matter, to feel like they're not completely alone. The other kids used to torture me, not because I was small, I was big for my age, but because I had this high voice, this lisp. They'd mock me, call me names, push me around. So I learned to hit first, hit hard, make them afraid before they could make me afraid. That's how I survived, through violence, through making people hurt before they could hurt me. When I was 13, I got sent to Tryon School for boys. Juvenile detention. That's where I met Bobby Stewart. He was a counselor there, but he'd been a boxer, Golden Gloves champion. He saw something in me, I don't know what. Maybe he just saw another angry kid who needed an outlet. He started teaching me how to box, not street fighting, real boxing, discipline, technique, control. Bobby was the first person who ever believed I could be something other than a criminal. He told me about this old trainer upstate, guy named Cus D'Amato, legendary trainer, trained Floyd Patterson, made him heavyweight champion. Bobby said Cus could help me, could change my life, could make me a champion. I didn't believe him. I didn't believe in anything back then except pain and anger. But Bobby arranged for me to visit. September 1980. They drove me up to Catskill, New York. Small town, nothing like Brooklyn. Quiet, trees everywhere. It felt like a different planet. We pulled up to this old white house on a hill. That's where Cus lived. The gym was attached to the house. Simple, no fancy equipment, just a ring, some bags, some worn-out mats on the floor. I remember walking up those steps. My hands were shaking, not from fear, from rage. I was always angry back then, angry at the world, angry at everyone who'd hurt me, angry at myself for being weak enough to get hurt. That anger was like a fire inside me. It kept me warm, kept me alive, but it was burning me up from the inside. Bobby opened the door. The gym smelled like sweat and leather and old wood. There were a few guys training, hitting bags, jumping rope. They looked at me when I walked in. This fat kid from Brooklyn with a mean look on his face and holes in his shoes. I stared back, daring them to say something, daring them to give me a reason. Then I saw him, Cus D'Amato, sitting in a folding chair in the corner. He was old, 71 years old, white hair, glasses, wearing a cardigan sweater like somebody's grandfather. He didn't look like a legendary trainer. He looked like a retired teacher, soft, harmless, irrelevant. I remember thinking, this is the guy who's supposed to help me, this old man. Cus didn't get up, didn't introduce himself, just sat there watching me. His eyes were different from everyone else's. Most people looked at me with fear or disgust or pity. Cus looked at me like he was reading a book, like he could see every page, every word, every sentence I tried to hide. It made me uncomfortable, made me defensive. I crossed my arms, put on my toughest face, the face that said, don't mess with me, I'll hurt you. Cus watched me for maybe 8 seconds. That's all. 8 seconds of silence, just him looking at me. Then he said 5 words that changed everything. I know who you are. That's it, 5 words. But the way he said it, it wasn't about my arrest record, wasn't about the fights or the stealing or the trouble. He said it like he could see past all that, like he could see something underneath, something I didn't even know was there. I didn't know how to respond. Part of me wanted to run, part of me wanted to fight, part of me wanted to cry. I did none of those things, just stood there, frozen. Cus stood up slowly, walked over to me. He was shorter than me. I was already 5'9", still growing. He looked up at me with those eyes, those calm, knowing eyes. You've been hurt, he said. Not a question, a statement. People have hurt you your whole life, so you hurt them first. You think that makes you strong. It doesn't. It makes you a slave to your pain. Nobody had ever talked to me like that. Most adults yelled at me, threatened me, lectured me. Cus spoke quietly, like he was sharing a secret. You have a gift inside you, he continued. A natural ability, but gifts mean nothing if you don't have discipline, if you don't have purpose, if you don't have someone who believes in you, even when you don't believe in yourself. I felt something crack inside my chest. This old man I'd known for less than a minute was saying things that cut right through every wall I'd built, every defense, every lie I'd told myself about who I was and what I deserved. I can make you heavyweight champion of the world, Cus said. His voice was matter of fact, like he was telling me the weather. But only if you're willing to do the hardest thing you've ever done. I finally found my voice. What's that? Trust me, Cus said. Trust that I won't hurt you. Trust that I won't abandon you. Trust that I see something in you worth saving. Can you do that? I wanted to say yes, wanted to believe him,
But I'd been let down so many times. By my father who was never there. By my mother who died when I was 16. By every adult who was supposed to protect me and didn't. Trust wasn't something I had anymore. It had been beaten out of me. Cus must have seen the doubt in my face. He put his hand on my shoulder. Gentle, fatherly. I'm not asking you to trust me completely today, he said. I'm asking you to come back tomorrow, and the next day, and the day after that. Trust is built slowly, like a fighter, one day at a time, one round at a time. Something in me broke, or maybe something in me started to heal. I don't know. All I know is that I nodded, and the next day, I came back, and the day after that, and the day after that. Cus didn't just train me to box. He trained me to be human, to control my anger, instead of letting it control me, to channel all that pain and rage into something powerful, something purposeful. He taught me that being tough isn't about hurting people. It's about discipline. It's about facing your fears. It's about becoming the best version of yourself, even when the world tells you you're worthless. He became my father, the only real father I ever had. He believed in me when I was undefeated. He believed in me when I lost. He believed in me even when I disappointed him. That kind of love, that unconditional belief, it saved my life. When I was 20 years old, I became the youngest heavyweight champion in history. Cus was there, in my corner, where he'd always been. I did it for him, to prove that his belief wasn't wasted, to show him that the broken kid who walked into his gym 6 years earlier had become something more. Cus died in 1985, a year before I won the title. That loss devastated me in ways I'm still processing. He never got to see me become champion, never got to see the full realization of everything he'd built, but he knew. He told me before he died, "You're going to be heavyweight champion of the world." I won't be there to see it, but I know it's true. And he was right. He was always right. I've made a lot of mistakes in my life, hurt a lot of people, lost a lot of things, my titles, my money, my reputation. But the 8 seconds I stood in front of Cus D'Amato while he decided whether I was worth saving, those 8 seconds gave me something no one can ever take away. They gave me proof that I mattered, that I was worth believing in, that one person's love can change everything. If you're listening to this and you feel broken, if you feel like the world has given up on you, if you feel like you're too far gone to be saved, I'm telling you from experience, you're not. You just need one person, one Cus D'Amato, one person who sees past your mistakes and your anger and your pain, one person who believes in the person you could become. For me, that person was an old man in a cardigan sweater who looked at a scared, angry kid for 8 seconds and saw a champion, not because of what I was, but because of what he knew I could be. That's what real strength is. Not the ability to hurt people, the ability to believe in them, to help them become more than they ever thought possible. Cus gave me that. And even though he's been gone for almost 40 years, I carry him with me every single day. 8 seconds. That's all it took. 8 seconds of someone really seeing me, really believing in me. 8 seconds that changed the next 40 years. Who needs your 8 seconds? Who's the kid walking into your gym right now, angry and scared and convinced the world doesn't care? Because I promise you, your belief in them could be the difference between a wasted life and a champion. Cus taught me that, and now I'm passing it on to you.